Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Too Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy. It's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. 2 easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Camille Sullivan with me. So welcome, Camille.
Hi. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. I've been watching your career, I think, pretty much from the beginning. This is how long I've been watching. All right. So I remember, I'm a sci-fi guy, and we talked a little bit about Vancouver and their sci-fi shows, but I remember Dark Angel. You made an appearance on there. And even, I think before that, but it could have been after, you did a show called First Wave that I used to
Yes,
watch,
I did. That was my second role ever.
Mm-hmm. That's the two I remember. And First Wave, I think it was like a syndicated sci-fi show back then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was my second ever TV job right out of theater school. It was pretty exciting.
Well, like I remember the Dark Angel one pretty well. Like when I started to research, I already knew that one. But the First Wave one, I'd forgotten that. And then it reminded me, and I was like, well, I still don't really remember because it's been so long, but I watched that show, so I'm sure I've seen you on there.
I looked a little different, too, because at the time my hair was short and dark, and I was, obviously a couple years younger.
Yeah. I know. Can you believe it's been that long?
Oh, my God. When I see old things, I look like a baby. A baby.
There comes a time, where you get to a certain age where people younger than you actually look young, like they look like babies.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I passed that threshold, but now, I see these kids in their 20s, early 30s, and I'm like, I remember those days.
Most of it.
Well, that's true. Not all of it. I always tell that to my wife, when she worries about the kids, and they're all grown. I'm like, we were into way worse stuff than they're into. Stop worrying; they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If they get off track, then we'll help them, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine. We all go through that kind of teenage, early 20s stage, and none of us have any sense.
No, we're just one bad decision after another.
I'm kind of like, we have all this stuff, the age limits for stuff. I'm kind of thinking that needs to be 30 for all of it.
For everything.
You can't do anything till you're 30.
You're just in your house. You're taking it easy until 30.
Then maybe we'd act a little more responsible. So Camille, let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about what got you into the entertainment business. Difficult business to go into. Why'd you want to become an actress?
I grew up in Toronto, and I went to an arts high school, but not for acting. I took painting, but they had theater there. So I did a couple of plays, and I kind of, I was like, this is cool. I like this. So then I went to UBC, University of British Columbia.
Yeah.
And after my first year, I applied for the theater program, and I got in. And so I did that. And I'm so close to graduating.
That's exciting.
I mean, I finished all the theater stuff, and then I'm short like a couple electives that I don't think I'll ever go back for. So hopefully, honorary. Yeah. So then I got out, and at the time it was I think it was easier to start, honestly, because I had bigger auditions for better things. And like we were talking about First Wave, that was my second job. Like, I'm not sure that would happen now. So I was very lucky in that I just sort of started right away. And then I've been able to make a career of it ever since.
Yeah, it doesn't really work that way anymore. It's not that instantaneous type of thing.
No, it seems much harder. I talked with actresses who are just starting out, and it's like they can't even get an audition like the ones that I had, and like a real one, that you're actually being considered for. Yeah,
it's kind of. I mean, there's some advantages to doing the self tapes and sending those in, but there's some pretty big disadvantages too, because you're not in front of the person making the decision.
Well, there is the wonder I have a lot of times. Is anyone watching this at all, or should I just be sending these direct to Steven Spielberg?
Well, yeah, it's kind of it, because you don't know if they it's all snap judgments. They're not going to send you a note and say, "Could you try it this way?" They're just going to move on, and then you may never hear from them.
Yeah. I imagine it's like that, but it was probably always like that. It's just they had to sit through it. Now they just, go to the next. But before they had to sit there and pretend to be,
Well, sometimes they give you some direction at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I've had a few where they come back and I do retake an audition, but it's rare.
Yeah. I know. What's your preference? Do you prefer the self tapes or do you like?
I prefer the self tapes.
I think most people say that.
Because the audition room it's all nerves. All my energy goes to just being calm. You know what I mean? That's not really the job of acting. It's like if I just don't fall in the crowd.
You're lucky just to stay there and not run away.
Yeah, no, exactly. Sometimes I've been in the waiting room. I'm like, no, not doing it. And I've left because it's just a very nerve-wracking experience for no reason. And I don't find that on set. It's just auditioning.
Well, I think it's because you're kind of just all the focus is on you, and I get that it's like that on set too, but it's not. There's a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, but you're making stuff.
You're right there.
Exactly.
Like what's that? Like a job interview. If you've ever done those panel interviews where you have to go and sit in front of a table of people, I mean, they're really, it makes you just a nervous wreck. You're just trying to survive, let alone do well.
Yeah, it's like a parole board or something. The stakes seem so high and they're not. I'm always trying to tell people, it's like, don't worry. Even if you shit the bed, you're going to be fine.
That's right.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the good thing, I think, about the entertainment business is you can mess up multiple auditions and nobody cares. It's all about what can you do right now? Does it match what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't envy you though. I'm so happy. I'm an introvert at heart and I don't know that I could handle auditioning like maybe if I was self-taping where I had control, but if I was in front of somebody, I don't think I could do it.
It's tough. You just sort of grit your teeth and do it. And then the best thing is to try not to think about it ever again after. You take your side, throw them in the garbage. You that never happened.
Well, unless you get the role.
Yeah, then you're like, great. But otherwise, you want to go over it and be like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that.
Well, that's it. And that's what I would do. I'd pick myself apart, even if I got the role, because then it'd be, what'd I do right on this one? Let me duplicate that. And then I'd be going through my head trying to figure out what I did differently that got me the role. And it's all opinion. So you probably did exactly the same and it just fit that person's project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's so subjective.
You did you had an appearance on Stargate Universe.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. That was super fun.
Val, that was the name. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I did. It was fun because I started bleeding out of my eyeballs and stuff. So that was exciting.
I thought that was a really good show. It was different from the other Stargates because they were, mobile. They were moving around instead of having the kind of Earth base. But it didn't quite catch. And it had a great cast.
Yeah, it had a great cast. I thought it was a good show too. I guess because it was just different enough that it didn't get the same audience, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Because I thought it was really good. I was surprised it didn't go longer.
Yeah, I am too. I think I'm surprised they're not making a Stargate currently, but I'm sure they'll come back at some point. But I think the show would work better now. And I don't know why, but the timing on it wasn't quite right. But I've had a lot of that cast on, and they all say the same thing. Writing was great. The cast was great. We had a great time on set. It just, it made it a couple seasons. But normally those type of sci-fi shows go, 5, 6, 7 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. I was only in one episode, but actually it was a nice set. It was a fun group of people.
Well, and then the other one I wanted to mention was Falling Skies.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Falling Skies. I got to get in that propeller plane.
Yeah, that's right.
Exciting. That's what I remember.
My son Brett, that does all the editing, the hard stuff for the podcast, we watched that show together. He still talks fondly of Falling Skies. It was a really good show. I think it was a Spielberg show, wasn't it?
I'm just terrible, but I don't remember. I think
it was.
That's pretty good.
I mean, he may have been producing, not directing.
Yeah, somewhere along. But yeah,
it was connected somewhere in there.
It's a pretty big show.
Yeah.
As I recall, I think all my stuff was in the middle of the night, so it's like all my memory of it. It's a little bit like, oh.
Out there in the middle of the night working.
Yeah, it's like a 3 a.m. call. It's not great.
I wanted to ask you, you've got a new one coming up, Shelby Oaks, and I know you're limited on what you can say about it because it's not out there yet. But what can you tell us about that one? What kind of show is it? What's it about, and what's your character's role in it?
Okay, so it's a movie written and directed by Chris Stuckman, his first feature, so it's his debut, and it's going to be premiering at the Fantasia Film Festival in July, August. I'm not sure exactly what the dates are there. I can't remember, but somewhere in there. And so I play Mia, and basically my sister Riley disappeared about 9 years ago. Yeah. She was part of this group called the Paranormal Paranoids, and they did a YouTube channel looking for paranormal activity. It was like kind of a fun thing. And then one time they go out on one and then they never come back. So 9 years later, everyone's given up, assumes that she's dead, except for me. And so you sort of watch as my desire and drive to find her kind of spirals into an obsession as I realize that the demon from our childhood might have actually been real.
Yeah, that one, that part of it is pretty creepy.
It gets dark. It gets dark. Yeah. Yeah. It's scary. I watched it. It's pretty exciting.
Is it scary and also gory, or just scary?
There is some gore. It's not gore on the level of like a Hunter x Hunter that I did or something like that. But but yeah, there's some gore. There's definitely some blood, and it's scary. It's like, you know what I mean? When you're just like,
I'm a big chicken. That's why I was asking, because I want to watch it, and I'm gonna have to prepare myself.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
Something to cover my eyes, at least.
But you'll be ready. You'll be ready.
I'll be ready. Well, it's got Keith David in it.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, and Michael Beach too. Both of them were terrific.
What an incredible cast! I was signed on to it early, and so then the cast started coming in, and they'd already signed me. So I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe all these people."
What's that? Well, what's that like when you sign on for a project and it's like, this sounds good, but then they start signing the cast, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is bigger than I thought." That's scary and exciting.
This was really exciting because they came to me with an offer just sort of shortly after Hunter x Hunter came out.
Yeah.
And that was quite a while ago now. So then it was like another year or two before we shot it. And then it's been a year or 2 years since we shot it. And in that meanwhile, they've announced that Mike Flanagan and Intrepid Pictures has come on as producers.
Can you believe that?
No, and so it's like this thing that I didn't know what it would be. They seem nice, and I like the script, and so I was just an offer. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this, and then it just kept growing and growing into this really incredible thing. I feel so lucky.
Yeah, I know, it's exciting. Everything Mike Flanagan's involved in does well.
Because he's great. I mean, I'm so excited. I've never met him. Hopefully, I will.
I'm sure he'll be around.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one of his?
The one to Fall the House of Usher. I just watched. Yeah. So good. I loved it.
That was excellent. I think for me, mine was Midnight Mass, but Usher
Midnight Mass was really good too. Yeah.
They were both just excellent. All his stuff's really good, and most of it I can stand to watch without closing my eyes. Some of it
That's good, because that gets pretty gory.
It does.
Gory.
It kind of reminds me, though, like his stuff kind of reminds me of 80s horror. And I don't know why,
Right.
but that gore is not quite as gory. I don't,
Right.
it just doesn't seem quite as bad. And I don't know why. That may just be me.
Well, I don't know, the aesthetic. I mean, I like gore. I don't really get into something like a Saw. That goes a little too far for me.
Yeah.
I have trouble.
Well, that one's tough because you feel like that might be able to happen. And that makes it worse.
I don't need any more just like direct nightmare.
That's it. I got enough. I have nightmares just over everyday occurrences. Just mundane stuff. I don't need actual nightmares.
Yeah.
Any idea when that one's coming out?
So I know it's going to start the festival circuit this summer, and hopefully soon after that. But I don't have any in particular information. I think they're going to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. They probably just marketing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's all happening.
I know it's so exciting. I got to go to Sundance, but it was 2020. So we came back from Sundance and literally within days they shut everything down.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
But I remember that early feeling, because you're starting to hear about it. And then I remember actually worrying when somebody coughed on an elevator. Never done that before. Yeah. And that was even before anything had actually happened. It was just, but it was close. You knew something, they were going to do something was coming that you're kind of nervous about. But Sundance, unbelievable.
Oh, I've never been.
You should go just for it'd be better if you had a thing there.
It'd be bad.
But it's so cool. It's so worth going. And it's, it's only a couple blocks. You think it's this big thing. It's just a little tiny town there in Utah, but it's packed. And it just, I don't know. It's just pretty exciting. It was.
Oh, that's cool.
And we had no agenda. So it was just, all the stuff we did was just random. And it was still awesome. If you actually could go and say, I want to see this and go see this, and that might be better. But we had a great time.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'd really love to go there. That's one I'd love to go to.
Yeah. Dress warm. It's really cold.
Fair enough.
Which is kind of funny because we saw later, we see somebody that we were with at a venue, but they were so covered up, you had no idea who they were. And then later it come out, it was, somebody kind of famous. And you're like, hey, we were right there with him. No idea. Because you can't see anything except people's eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, as a celebrity, that'd be a good place to go.
That's a good way to be incognito. I kind of liked with the mask, like during the height of the pandemic, mask, sunglasses, hat on. You couldn't see an inch of my face.
Yeah, you're hidden. Although, like, I struggle to recognize people that I've known my entire life. If I see them in a setting I'm not familiar with. So forget about it. You could walk right next to me, and I'd the worst at that. Now later, something in my brain might be like, "Oh,
yeah."
Oh shoot. Let's see. I had continuing the sci-fi fantasy type stuff. Man in the High Castle. We loved you in that one, and you were on a bunch of those.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, what an incredible production. The sets and the wardrobe, everything was just perfect. So well researched and so well done.
A lot of Canadians working on that one.
Well, Vancouver, yeah. A lot of Canadians.
Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of that cast, and I think every one of them I talked to was living somewhere in Canada, which is kind of neat. I'm like, all right.
It's great. Yeah, and it's actually kind of rare.
Yeah. It kind of is. Even if you have a film industry in the town you're living, it's difficult to get work there because there's everybody's coming in there. It's not like it's just like, oh, you're here already. Okay, we'll use you.
I'm right here. I work for cheap. I mean, I don't work for cheap.
That's right.
That's right.
Were you in Best in Show?
I was.
How'd
For
that
like
come
2
about?
seconds.
That's what
I
I
did an
thought.
audition for it. It was like an improvised audition. I think the scene was something like you're trying to walk this dog and it's not agreeing with you. And then I got it, and it was just like this very quick little thing. But I mean, it was so fun. Like, what a
Yeah.
cool group of people.
Well, and you got to stay ready because, Christopher Guest, some of those guys, they use the same people over and over. They're liable to call at some point.
It's been a while. I doubt it, but I mean, there's always that chance.
You say that, and then at some point you're going to call me, and you'll be like, "You'll never guess they're doing a Best in Show too."
They really want me. They really want the PA from.
Big Sky, which was I didn't know it when I was watching it, but it was a David E. Kelly show. Loved it.
Yeah, and it was,
I'd have known it though. After I watched a couple episodes, I'd be like, "This seems like a David."
Yeah,
Kelly
you can
show.
feel it when you're watching it for sure. Yeah, that was nice experience, nice group of people, great show.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I talked to Dee Dee Pfeiffer, and Michelle's married to
David
Kelly,
she's hilarious.
but she was talking about that. She's like, "Yeah," she's like, "I really wasn't doing too much, just hanging out at the home, but it's family, so you kind of have to go." She's like, "So I went ahead and signed on."
She's a nice lady. I remember she was cracking me up.
She's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, good sense of humor, and I was thrilled to talk to her. I loved her back in the '80s and '90s. She was in a lot of stuff, Seinfeld and some stuff, and it was a good conversation. She just very open personality. Like, there's no filter. She'll just tell you whatever's on her mind, and it was pretty nice, pretty refreshing. So I'm gonna walk you through some of these. Butterfly Effect. You were Cricket.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Way back. Yeah, I've still never seen that movie.
Oh, it's a pretty good movie. I mean, I think it's been 20 years, but I
know it's time that I should watch it, but I don't know. I just never did.
It was pretty good because it was Ashton Kutcher, and who was the female lead in it?
Oh God, I forgot. I don't remember. I had one little scene. I went one day, and it was a very hectic day because I was splitting it with another production, so I was a little bit frantic.
So you were working somewhere else and trying to fit this one in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that doesn't work real well.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, a lot of people do it.
No problem. You do half day here, half day there. Like, no, it's not.
Hey, as long as they're happy, all good. Well, and there was another one, Hellstrom. Yeah, I'm a comic book guy.
Yeah,
that was based on a comic book, and I liked it pretty well. I wish they would have went more maybe into the mystical, supernatural type of stuff where you actually got to see some of the powers and stuff. But I thought they did a pretty good job adapting from the comics. But you had a good role in that.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty cool. I got to play twins. I had the burn makeup on one side. There was a real fire. We were in this, and everything was on fire, and it was super smoky. And then the fire alarm went off. We were out for about an hour or two, but then got back in, finished the scene, no problem.
Yeah. See, I think that you're just meant for nerdy stuff.
I think maybe I got no problem with that. I'll take that.
It's not bad. Like you could show up right now at any convention, and they just give you a table. You don't have to go ahead. Just there you go.
There you go. You're in that smattering of everything.
I did forget to mention Rookie Blue. I was a big fan of that show, and you were on.
Were you?
Yeah, and you were on a bunch of those. Weren't you? You played a detective, if I remember right.
I played a detective. Yeah, I played Detective Joe Rosati, and I broke up the big relationship, and everyone was so mad about it. But it was great. It was super fun.
It was to me, it was a surprisingly good show. I didn't have high hopes for it when it came out, but I liked some of the cast, so I checked it out, and it was really good. It's well done.
Yeah, it's a well done show. They're a good group of writer producers there.
Yeah, it wasn't wasn't too bad. It was the rookie before the rookie.
Yeah. Yeah. Set the stage, set the tone.
Well, there was a show like when I was growing up back in the 70s. I love SWAT, the what they've done the new show off of, but I loved it. But there was a show called The Rookies, and it was a police show. And I always really enjoyed that. I was pretty young when I was watching it, but I always really enjoyed that. And it kind of dawned on me. I was like, about every decade, they do something around police rookies.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, it's a natural for a show, right?
All right. we can do rookies. Why not? We all love police shows.
Yeah. No, everybody watches police shows.
What's the Canadian version of like a Law and Order NCIS?
Right now they've got Law and Order Toronto. So
do they really?
They just did one season. I think they got picked up for 2 more. But we've had other ones. Oh, so I did a show many years ago called Da Vinci's Inquest.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, so yeah. Now I haven't watched that one, but a lot of people I've talked to from Canada have made appearances on that.
Yeah, it was great. It went for quite a while. So that would be one. We do a lot of cop shows here, but that's the one I'd call out because I was on it. It was quite a good cop show.
It was pretty good. Well, I thought you've got Family Law. It's not a cop show, but it seems like a lot of people guest star.
Yeah.
That we just got that one over here. I think CW's showing that one.
Oh yeah, that's a great show. Yeah. That's hiring everybody in Vancouver.
I know. I kind of like shows like that. It's like if you're in an area long enough, you're probably going to be on there.
Yeah.
If you live in New York, you'll be on Law and Order at some point.
At some point, yeah, because it's just they run out of
people.
Eventually, they're going to get around to me.
I got an acting friend in LA, and he just finished a role on that new Criminal Minds show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's only on scene for 30 seconds or so, and then he gets killed. But he was thrilled. He's like, "There we go."
There you go. It's pretty cool. No, when you get on a show that's been going for like a long time or something exciting, it's pretty cool no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, because they've got everything ironed out. All you have to do is show up.
Yeah.
Go through your lines because there's no, it's pretty well-oiled machine at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you worked on a set where it wasn't well-oiled?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Does it make you appreciate the shows that are?
Oh my God. There's some of them, it's just, you wonder, like, not TV so much, but like sometimes like an independent movie, like a low budget movie. I can think of one which I won't call out, but it was so crazy. It was just like, how is there going to be even a movie at the end of this nightmare? The director would yell action sometimes without blocking the scene, with equipment in the middle of the room. We're all looking around like, what's he talking about? Who's he talking to?
That's how you end up with like somebody hiding behind a curtain or something that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly. That whole thing was really sketchy.
Well, so how'd the movie turn out?
Terrible.
Okay.
It's terrible.
I was hoping you'd come back and be like, the movie was
like, it was great. No, I mean, it's out. They made a movie. It exists.
Oh, you know what? I wrote a note. My writing is so bad. I've been trying to figure out what show is that. It's Alcatraz.
Oh, Alcatraz. Yeah, that was fun. I got to do an accent. I got to do a Polish accent, which was super fun. Because I took the lines and then I took them over to the Polish Community Center. I made a point with this lady and I just had her read them all so that I could, and I recorded it and then I could practice her accent so that
That is a great idea.
Oh, it worked out great. I was so happy with it.
That was the post-Lost show for J.J. Abrams.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, and it was good.
Season, I think. It was good too, yeah.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It didn't catch people for whatever reason, but I wish they had, like a lot of shows, especially network shows, they don't give them enough runway to kind of gain an audience.
Yeah, I think that's true. If it doesn't take off right away, they're like, no, pull it.
Yeah. I think that one, another couple of seasons, I think it would have been very popular. Had a great cast. The writing was really good.
Yeah, it did. It had a great
And it wasn't like J.J. Abrams was, on a cold streak at that point. He was pretty hot at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'm glad I deciphered what I wrote, because that was a good show. And you were good on that. I thought your Polish accent was really good.
Thank you. It's thick.
You played Emily on Hellcats too. That was the other one.
Yes. That was super fun too. It was fun to just be like a lady who comes in to stir up trouble.
Kind of neat going back and looking at that cast, because they the cast they were known but not real well known at that time. But now years later, a lot of you and the rest of the cast have kind of increased your recognition factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. A cheerleading show?
It was a cheerleading show. Yeah. I mean, I was like not a cheerleader, obviously, but a little older for that. But
were you a cheerleader in school at any point?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No. Like I said, I went to an arts high school, so we didn't even have cheer. We didn't have a football team. We had dancers and mimes.
Yeah, but did they have hockey? That's like a rule over there.
Not at my school.
Yeah.
I know. We were really, really out there. Yeah.
My granddaughter starts cheerleading next month. She's 4. But she's been practicing the routines and stuff.
If that's soon enough, she's going to be behind the curve.
I know. That's what I said. You're like a year late. What are you doing? Well, she tried soccer.
Yeah.
She thought it was okay, but she's been in dance for a couple of years, and cheerleading fit better with her.
Yeah.
So she's very excited about it. I've been watching a lot of routines.
I bet. And you will for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know. I thought like her mother was a dancer, but when she got out of school, she moved on, and I kind of assumed that would be the end of it, but oh no. Nothing like an all-day dance recital.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Because you're so excited to see your kid for the 2 or 3 dances that they're in, but there's like 30 or 40 dances you got to sit through.
Yeah. And then, I went to my nephew's school, like Christmas recital, and he was great. And the other kids are hilarious too. But yeah, sometimes when it's just other kids for a while,
you're like, okay. Yeah, some of it's very cute. But after you've seen several of them, you're just like, could we just get to my kids?
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. Do you still paint?
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What's your medium?
I usually use oil paints. That's what I always used before. But then my cat, I have this cat who's a menace. He's a menace. So I tried to paint, and he's all over it. He's jumping in the paint. He's running over the apartment. So I have to use something non-toxic now. So I'm looking around for something that's a little easier in case he gets into it, because I just can't go through that again. No,
that's My wife paints and loves it, and she does it more as a hobby, more.
Me too. I'm not afraid.
Something to relax with.
Yeah,
but I love it. I told her, I was like, you could be a starving artist. You're good enough.
High praise.
Yeah, she wasn't thrilled with that. I actually love her paint. She does most of her stuff. She'll donate for like charity auctions and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
And it always upsets me because I never want to let them go. I get very possessive. So I'm always sneaking on there trying to buy the things. And that worked for a while, but then she found the closet that I was hiding them all in.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so cute.
I was like, well, I'm glad you found it. Now we can hang them up. But after that, she wouldn't let me bid anymore.
Yeah, only legitimate bidders.
Right. I was like, it's still going to charity. I could justify it because she would get like 25% back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, see, I got it at a discount. That didn't work either. Is there I doubt it because you've been doing this a while, but is there a genre that you haven't done that you would like to do?
I'd like to do action.
Well, you should do action. I'm surprised.
I've done some. Like I've done some of my own. I do lots of stuff running through the woods.
Yeah.
I do a tremendous amount of that, and I love that. So I'd like to do more of that, more stuff where I run and more fighting. I like fighting. Like I'd really like.
Have you ever had to train, like fight train on a set?
No, like I've done some. I did in Hunter x Hunter. I did a fight where I get flipped. He flips.
Yeah, that was kind of the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
So I did that, and I did that all myself. And so we blocked it out in the day and rehearsed it a few times and did it, and it was pretty great.
Yeah.
And originally they were gonna have a stunt double for me, and I'm like, oh, I don't need a stunt double. And then they got rid of her, and I was like, oh my god, now what have I done? But it was fine. So
there's a stunt double out there walking around just really pissed at you.
Oh my god! I mean, I hopefully they can actually hire someone yet. Hopefully, I think they were just looking. But yeah, so I did that, and so I'd love to do more of that. And I'm doing a comedy called Shoresy right now, and I really have loved doing comedy.
Yeah, tell me what's that one about? Because that's one I kind of like to.
It's great. I think you would like it. It's about hockey, and it's about Canada, and it's hilarious. It's such a well-written, smart show. So crass, but with such a good heart. It's like everyone who watches it, except for my mother, because it's not her jam, which is fine. Everyone else loves it.
I gotta find that one because it looks.
Season 3 premieres on Hulu. I think it's season 3. Yeah, on Hulu in end of this month.
All right, I'm putting it on my list.
Okay, good.
To watch. Are you playing hockey in it?
No. I play a sports reporter now. And I don't have to do any kind of sportiness, which is fine because I do want to do action, but I don't want to do hockey.
Yeah. Well, unless you're a good skater, I would stay away.
I'm an okay skater, not nearly good enough.
I can roller skate really well. Not too good on those.
I think I'd like to get roller skates and do that again.
Like the old skates, not the inline.
Yeah. The old, yeah.
Four-wheel. Yeah. I miss those days. I grew up, kind of, that was where we went. We hung out at the skating rink, played video games and hoped that some random middle school girl would ask us to, couple skate. It was always ladies' choice back then. Probably good. I was too nervous to ask anybody.
That's why they did that, I think.
They're like, well, nobody's getting out there. I guess we're going to put it on the girls. But those were terrific middle school memories, growing up at the skating rink. And most kids today don't really have that. That kind of community thing where you've got bad food and video games and roller skating.
Yeah. And that that's like relatively cheap. That you can just go and hang out, and you don't need a ton of money. And
we're there or at the little, we had a little movie theater. That was the hangout before we could drive.
Yeah.
You had to have somewhere you could just get dropped off at.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love going to the movies when I was a kid. I'd go all the time.
Me too. It was back in, I remember that little theater, it had 3 theaters in it. And one of them showed Raiders of the Lost Ark for over a year. But I know because I probably saw it 10 times.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was like, I will go Raiders. But I kind of miss those days. Now you get movies, they're in and out of the theater in a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that as much because it doesn't give you that, you don't really have a chance to go see it.
Yeah, no, you might not. You might be busy this week, but next week you want.
Next week you go, and then it's like, it's already gone. And then you watch it on a streamer or at home, but it's not the same. It's convenient. It's not bad, but it's not the same experience.
It's not the same. I tell you, I never fall asleep in the movie theater, but at home, I fall asleep a lot before the end of the movie.
Yeah, all the time.
Like,
The good thing, well, I don't know if it's good or not, but like with us, it takes us at least twice as long to get through anything if we're at home. Because you pause it for any reason.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. We'll come back. But then you got like a 2-hour movie and it takes us, half the day to get through.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I went to see Oppenheimer in the theater. I'm like, there's no chance for me at home. There's no chance.
You're right. That was a 2-nighter for me. I had split it. Oh, it was a great movie. But not exactly a feel-good movie.
No. No.
I guess that was why it was attached to Barbie. You had the
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then you shake that off.
you shake it off. I mean, for me, because I remember a lot of people where they were debating what order to watch them. I would watch Barbie last, to like a palate cleanser type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do too.
I mean, because if you come out of Oppenheimer last, you're not going to be in a great mood.
No. No, exactly.
I mean, you'd be like, that was a great movie, but my mood's not terrific. But then I had a lot of people say, well, if they came out of that one into Barbie, it would ruin the Barbie experience because they wouldn't be in the
Oh, they'd be like, oh, I can't focus on this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
both
I hope we get more opportunities with that type of thing. Let's pair more movies up. I like that.
Yeah, I hope so. I've been going to see a lot of movies in the theater recently, and it's like I forgot how much I missed it. And it's just a fun community experience.
I went and saw Alien and The Mummy at the theater.
Oh yeah.
Like recently, like the re-showings, and it was great. It just it kind of takes you all the way back to when you saw it, back when it first came out. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And that's why I told and I always, if I go to those, I always drag my sons with me at least, because I'm like, you need to watch this. It's one of those, everybody talks about this movie and they always will. You got to watch it or you're going to miss out on that conversation. It's probably not true, but that's how I get them to go with it.
It's not. So.
Well, Camille, thank you for taking a little bit of time. I was so excited to talk with you. I think Shelby Oaks looks amazing. That one's going to be fun. I hope it comes out no delays. It comes out fairly quickly and we get to see it. But I know they're going to take their time and do it right. So I'll try.
Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to see it too. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah. How long were you on set?
I think it was I can't remember. It was a pretty short shoot, so I want to say a month, but it might have been shorter than that.
Yeah. That's pretty quick.
It was really intense. It was a very intense shoot.
I think I would like that. Let's just knock it out.
Yeah. No, that's all you do. That's like you 1 month. That's like live and breathe that movie, and then
you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Before I let you go, Camille, a couple of little things. Anything else that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Just Shoresy coming out on Hulu at the end of the month. Season 3, all the episodes at once.
I've been looking for a show with some humor that I can binge. I like to like my wife's got a routine. She paints a little bit and then she takes a nice long bath in the evening. So I've got a little bit of time to myself. So I like to watch comedies. That kind of relaxes me in the evening. So.
Yeah, well then you'll like that. That's perfect. Oh, I'll plug one other thing. Came out a little bit ago, but it's on streaming now, and it's called Exile, and it's a thriller I did with Adam Beach, and it's a nice little psychological thriller, very intense, beautiful setting, and I recommend it.
Okay. Oh, what's it on?
I don't know.
It's just out there.
Yeah, Exile. I don't know.
Okay. I'm writing it down.
It's out there. It's available for rent. I'm quite sure.
Yeah. It should be. It seems like that's come across, like when I was going through Amazon to see what movies had come out. Seems like
it came out earlier this year.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Last thing before I let you go, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, I'm on Twitter at Camille Sully, and I'm on Instagram at Sullivan.Camille.
I kind of like the Sully thing. That's
my
cool.
Friends call me Sully sometimes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have one of those because my name kind of lends itself to Mike. It's got a built-in nickname, so I didn't get a cool nickname. But Sully, that's a cool nickname.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, Camille, hold on 1 second. Camille Sullivan. Hope you enjoyed that one. I was so excited to talk with her. I think she is really, really talented actress. And she's been in so many shows that kind of lend itself to what I like to watch. I watch a lot of sci-fi. I watch a lot of fantasy, a lot of nerdy stuff, a lot of comic book stuff. Most of them I mentioned that she was in. We didn't talk about Supergirl. She was on the show I should have brought up when we were talking about Law and Order and some of those shows and the Canadian equivalent. They used to have one called Flashpoint that starred the actor who played the dad on Veronica Mars. And it was an excellent show. We got it here in the States too on syndication, I think. It was a really good show. It was about, I think it was kind of a SWAT team. It was some type of response team that would come and deal with, maybe it was a bomb squad. I can't remember exactly, but I did watch a couple of seasons of that. But she was on that. It was really good. And then she was also in The Killing, which especially the first season, excellent show. Excellent show. Really, really enjoyed that. I can't believe I did not bring up that she played a pilot on Battlestar Galactica, the reboot. I was 70s Galactica, Battlestar Galactica, one of my favorite shows. And it, looking back on it, it was just okay. It wasn't great, but it sparked so much for a young kid. I loved it. And then the reboot actually was great. It's an excellent show, and she was a pilot on there. So I wish I'd brought that one, but we covered the rest of it. I think Dark Angel, she was Lida, I think was the name of that character, and she was just terrific. She was also in the Birdwatcher. She played Saffron. Did a really good job with that as well. Thank you guys for tuning in with us again this week. Definitely don't take you for granted. We are about maybe 2 weeks away from hitting our 800th episode. We tend to put out about 4 episodes a week. Today we're putting out episode 792, I think. So probably about 2 weeks away from 800. We've been doing this for about 5.5 years. So fairly high volume. If you'd like to see more, thank you. I would put our guest list up against anybody else. Podcast, talk show, anything you got. I've been throwing a little shade toward Seth Meyers because our podcast is doing better than his, and he promotes it pretty heavy on his show. So I've been sending him a little good-natured shade his way. If you want to support us, we'd love to have the help. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. Our website is meistercon.com. You can find all of those episodes, almost 800 of them, audio and video versions. So please check us out there. If we're covering a convention or going on location, doing something in studio, anything we got going on, it'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, recently named us the top 100 podcast, which is part of the reason I've been giving Seth a hard time. 15 million podcasts out there. So to make anybody's top 100 list, pretty exciting. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast. Just that, it's free. Just that traffic on our page really does help us out. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.